Okay, so today, guys, is all about VWAP Predator. Okay, now I always put my money where my mouth is. I did a trade earlier today, even though I am absolutely cream crackered. Okay, I got to Dubai I got home last night around about 15 minutes after midnight, after what turned out to be an 18-hour journey from Spain. So I had 3 hours sleep the night before I had to get up for an early flight. And then I did 5 hours sleep last night, and I still traded today just because I needed to show a trade for you guys for this webinar. Okay, so it was almost on autopilot. So I'm going to talk through this gold trade that I did today. A little bit about entry. This is the Ninja Trader version of the VWAP Predator. It's gold on the 5 minute. I've got the Guardian zones on there as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the previous zones on there because that dictated where my entry was, this 15-minute zone here, even though I had the buy signal here. Okay, now one zone it didn't show because it wasn't a zone is this this sort of here. So I'm just going to put that on to show you that's where I wanted to take the profit, purely because there was some resistance there, and I did post this trade in the Discord group. So this area here was always going to be trouble. Okay, we had this massive gap, down, up, started to settle down like a ball bouncing, yeah, and really find some resistance here before it shot down here. So this was always going to be my target for this particular trade, because it doesn't take the brains of a rocket scientist to understand that some very recent resistance is going to cause a bit of trouble to a move, even though it's a big, powerful move. Okay. So I'm going to talk through the process of, again, you've got to frame your charts regardless of the Guardian zones here. This particular price point has only been tested once. It has to be tested again at least twice more for the Guardian zones to really recognize it as a real strong resistance. But you know, 20 odd years veteran, I understand that's going to be the problem. That's what you need to do. So there were some sell signals down there, but not interested now, just interested in the one that I took today on gold. Okay, $2,000 trade. So my entry was it basically breaking out of this move. So we get a buy signal at this point here. Now we look down on the buyer's depth heat map, all six time frames are green. So that's the first thing. It's about signal confirmation. So we get a signal, we've got a confirmation. My entry strategy has to be breaking out of this zone, okay? So if I just highlight this here, that was my entry there, okay? I need to change the color because it's pretty similar to there. So let's make that a big yellow dotted line so you can see it. A dashed line. Apply. So that's my entry. Okay, you can see it on there, 2054.9. Okay, that was my entry for this particular signal. Again, as soon as I get a buy signal, I don't press buy. Okay, that is not intelligent trading. You've got to have a start point. Signal, confirmation down below, brilliant. Sensible entry strategy now, stop market order, okay? Just breaking out of this zone here. So, you know, the 5 minute candle, 5, 10, within that first 15 minutes afterwards, I got the entry. My stop, can I copy that? Yeah. I put just below the signal candle. Okay, because that's a fair few ticks, and I had 2 contracts. So, you know, big boy trade. You can still do this with micros, don't get me wrong. Okay, so this is a big boy trade. Now I need to look at my risk to reward. So one of the things, I mean, I can look at it by eye and know that I've got enough fresh air up to that where I want to take that profit because of that issue. It did push up a little bit, but then came back down again. So again, I look at the risk reward, look at the fib extensions, put it on my stop, my entry, and then I'm just going to load my risk to reward template. Okay. So my risk to reward was around about 1 to 1.5, 1 to 1.6. Pretty good for this type of trade. So VWAP looks at the proximity to the actual VWAP line itself, but then you'll see these extensions. So right now you can see the VWAP line is this little dotted blue line just here where my cursor is. When we get a candle that opens below and closes above, has higher volume than the previous candle, is higher than average volume, and it opens above and below, below and above for a long, we get a signal. Okay, so they don't appear all the time. There's specific rules for these signals to happen. You don't need to worry about those because some very clever guys that I pay a lot of money to has developed my strategy and made it all work behind the scenes. But once we get the signal, we have to have the confirmation, have to put a simple entry strategy together, and we need fresh air. You know, 1 to 1.6, 1 to 1.5 is what I'm looking for there. Okay. Now, I must admit, the reason why I got out of the trade as well, it was dithering around this resistance zone, and my dinner was ready. So, and I was hungry, and I didn't want to leave it, so I just took the profit and got out. So, you know, it's simple. I'm going to look at some more examples. So this was the trade that I did today because I needed to hop on and find something to give you a real example for. Now, you don't get signals all the time. This was a great sell signal here, great risk reward coming down. That was. Let me just get rid of the previous zones a second. I just want to show you this. So again, we get a move down. These were great sell signals in the evening yesterday. We came down, sell signal, lots of risk reward there, loads of fresh air. Comes back to test, forms a zone there because we got one touch here, 2, 3, starts to form the zone. If we just put the previous zones on there, you can see this previous 15-minute zone was that resistance as well. So then what happened is we got a sell signal at this point here. It opened because if we just look, the candle opened just above this fib extension of the VWAP, which is up here, and closed below. We got the short, got loads of fresh air all the way down to the bottom, and we get a great trade. Okay, so again, not the right time of day for me to trade. So you come through, there was no signals all the way through the European morning there, no signals on gold. Then we get this one. Okay, we get this one and we take the trade. So it's about being, this is why it's called the VWAP Predator. Okay, so it's been recorded, yes. So it's about being ready to get those big trades. I mean, this was a $2,000 trade today. Okay, I haven't traded for 10 days, a bit rusty, very tired, needed to trade, but my muscle memory over the last 20 years is such that I recognize this. Again, this is one of my strategies that I used to do manually. Now it's been turned into software. So I recognize it was a great trade, good fresh air, took the trade, and it's a good example for you guys. I did put the screenshot in here in the Discord group. So that was a trade at that time. It was $1,900 at that point there. Okay. And that's what it looked like at the time, because I just took a screenshot there. So, you know, I won't tell a lie, I don't trade every day. Okay. I'm very busy. with the software business, but I do like to trade 2 or 3 times a week, but I'm a sniper. I wait, use the strategies that are working in the group at the time, and this was a great trade. So just going to put that over and talk about ES yesterday. Okay, so this was a big trade yesterday. So this is the European morning here. There was some little sells here, but nothing really good. But then we get a sell signal here on the, so we're just coming into the pre-market, okay? 9:12 a.m. This is a 12-minute on RTY, sorry. Don't know why I said ES. It's a 12-minute on RTY. 12 minutes is a very big favorite time frame of mine. So we get a sell signal coming into the open. Yeah, so what do I do? Okay, can I paste that one in there? Will it work? No. Okay, I've got to draw another line. So I've got big support here, both 15-minute and the current 12 minutes. So what do I say to myself? Okay, I want to make sure that I'm below all of that crap. Yeah. Okay, let's not mince words here. I want to make sure I'm out of trouble if I am going to go into a trade. I can also use the catalyst of the open for that trade as well. That first 15 minutes after the US markets are open, a lot of volume, a lot of volatility. And if we break down there, it's going to go, and it did. Okay. But I still need to look at that risk to reward. There's my 60-minute zone down here. My stop, I can go just above this zone. Let's be ultra conservative with something like this because we're going to take a risk. Again, I was on a plane yesterday, so I couldn't trade this. I'm going to copy, paste. There we go. So it's going to be above here. Okay, sensible. We get a sell signal at this point. We got 6 time frames all red. Signal confirmation, sensible entry strategy. I want the catalyst. I am aware that the market is going to open, and I want this to break this support and get me into trade. That's my entry strategy. I've got the signal, got the confirmation. I'm aware of the time of day. I understand what's going to be happening. That's my entry. Again, so we can be very flat with the VWAP Predator until we start to get a lot of volume. So when you mix, again, most people look at the VWAP as just a tool to indicate where we are we bearish or bullish? Volume weighted average price, okay, VWAP. It's all about volume. If we then tie in good volume logic like we do with the manager, but with a slight few tweaks, we get the big moves and it spots those are going to be happening. So when we get those increases in volumes to the upside or the downside in this case, and it's more volume than the previous candle, and it crosses either the VWAP or one of the VWAP extensions, opens above and below in this case, and it's got higher than average volume, there's a good chance this thing's going to go. Okay. Now, yes, during Asian and European sessions, those moves aren't as big. For this particular instrument, if it was 6E, it would be different. There'd be more volume and more moves during the European morning. So depending on the instrument, depending on where that volatility is, depending on where the VWAP will really come into it. So again, yesterday, this was a massive move all the way down. And again, it touched the 60-minute zone. What would you do? Take profit. Yeah. If not, leave the ribbon to turn green, and that's where you would take the profit there. So we've had gold, which was a trade today. I did that. So the time frame there really is, if I'm looking at sort of energies and metals, I'm looking at 5, I'm looking at 10 minutes. But if I'm looking at indexes, I'm looking at 15 or 12. Sometimes a 12-minute just smooths things out for me, especially when it's volatile. Okay, no problem. So Vic, so the VWAP Predator scanner, and we've only got the scanner for TOS, it basically looks for those signals and it'll tell you on all those different instruments, but you've still got to look at the heat map and support and resistance zones. So you've got to have that confirmation. All it does is alerts you to on ZN there's a sell signal, yeah, on the 5 minute, whatever you set in that watch list for that particular scanner, and then you can go to the chart. You need to have your bias depth heat map loaded up. You need to have framed your charts because you can't get the unless you've actually got you running TOS and NinjaTrader at the same time. So you know that's why it's there. No, the heat map does not come with the Predator. It's a separate indicator. Okay, no problem. Okay, Vic. So let's go for another example. Okay, so time frames work best for the VWAP Predator. So when we're looking at, it depends on the instrument. You need to understand the groove. So I trade oil, gold, and copper a lot. I understand that oil on VWAP is good on the 5 minute, but on the range breakout, it's better on the 10 minute. Okay, I understand that copper works the same as oil, so those time frames are the same. With gold, I'm pretty much a 3 or a 5 minute guy because those are usually in the groove. And then with indexes on the range breakout, we use 15 minute. On the VWAP Predator, we can use 12 minute, we can use 5 minute. But for me, 12 minute is probably the better way to go because it's a bigger time frame. And it doesn't take long to find the groove. Okay, so this is oil, for example, today. No real traits, no fresh air. Okay, and you have to be that disciplined. And again, I've got lots of monitors here because if you're a serious trader, you can't do it on a bloody laptop. I'm telling you now, if you've got a laptop, leave this room right now. Okay, you cannot trade properly. You need to understand different time frames, different instruments, and what's going on. If you try and do it all on a laptop, it will not work. This is why when I was away for 10 days recently, I had my laptop with me, I did not trade. Sod's law is you will lose because you are not fully aware that everything that's going on. Okay, if I'm going to trade, I'm going to put money on the line. I need to understand what's going on. Yeah, so it's very difficult to do that on a laptop because you need to understand different time frames. Okay, so what I'm going to do, that's a buy order from the auto trader at the moment. So I'm just going to go on to HG again, 5 minutes on the HG. There was nothing on oil, but there were, let me just take the weekly zone off and the daily zone, clear that up a little bit. There was a nice little signal here on this sell signal at this point here. Okay, sell signal at this point. There was another sell signal at that point, fresh air all the way down to the 60-minute zone. Stop just above here, entry here, we're a 1 to 1.6. Okay, so that was a great little trade on HG today. And again, this was after the oil pit open. Understanding, and my apprentices do understand, and I think there's a few in here today. I know Louise is one, Vic's another one. Understanding those correlations and when we're going to get some movement is very important. So oil pit open 9 a.m. Oil and copper very reactive around that time. And again, these sell signals came in 9 o'clock and 9:20. Okay, so understanding that it's not just about getting a chart on a laptop, putting an indicator on and becoming a millionaire. Doesn't work. Okay. I've had 10 days to reflect on our 10,000 plus clients while I've been away because I'm writing a book at the moment. And you've got to have the right tools. The right tools start with the hardware. Once you've got the hardware, you've got to have the right knowledge, understand how the markets work, understand those correlations, those economic calendars, what make things move, everything like that. Then you need the software and the strategies to do it. And most importantly, you need simple and repeatable rules. And this is what all of the indicators to do. rules. Yeah, simple rules. You get the signal, you get a confirmation. Here we got a sell signal, all 6 time frames red. There's our confirmation. Entry strategy, 1 tick below, go short. Yeah, because we've got fresh air. Simple rules. Fresh air is one of the massive rules. We get a signal, we got the confirmation, and then we need a sensible entry strategy, management strategy. So that's HG. I'm going to pull over the trading view version now, if I can find it. Which screen is it on? No, I don't. So just talk about the Guardian zones a minute here. So I've just refreshed the data. So I just need to take off. So if I'm trading the CL on the 5 minute, I only really need 30, 15, and 5. Yeah. When I was trading gold on the 5 minute, I've got the 5, 15, 30, and 60. I just needed to know where the 60s were, just in case I got a little bit of correlation, but they were all down the bottom there. So no real dangers there. With RTY, I had the 60 minute on because I'm on a 12 minute time frame. I want to make sure I've got the 15, 30, and the. So I don't know whether it actually saved the last one. Whether it saved the last recording or not. So that's just the way it goes, I'm afraid. You never know. Yes, I'm using the ribbon crossover unless the fresh air runs out, Vic. So today I understood where that fresh air was and where that resistance was. So that's why I took the profit at that point. It's just sensible to do that. Let me just add the VWAP Predator to here. So guys, can't guarantee the first bit was recorded because the computer crashed. I have not seen that for quite a while. It happened on my older computer, but not this one. So this is a stock, okay? This is Apple on the 5 minute. For those that trade options, it's not a bad tool actually. So we've got the buy signal here. Again, my time zone on here is for Dubai. But this is the open, we get down, we get in the, he's trying to close the gap. We get the VWAP buy signal at this point here at 165.76. We did pull back, test the VWAP, normal thing in stocks, to be honest. And then it's gone back up to go those highs there. So that's not a bad move, really, on the for day trading there. So entry was here, those highs, yeah, that's not bad. Okay. But that's the VWAP on stock. So again, it's as long as an instrument's got volume, you can use the VWAP Predator. But you don't want to be going on the 30-minute time frame. It's a day trading time frame. 15 minutes is as high as you need to go. Really, and that's it. Right, so it depends on what you're using. So if you're using Renko or anything like that, you would only need 5 or 15 on your Guardian zones. I'm going to start up Ninja Trader again now, and let's hope it wasn't the new Ninja Trader, but I was running some tests at the same time on the Auto Trader. So there was a lot going off on the computer. Going to start up that. So UB. That works pretty well on the 5 minute for me. Okay, Vic, yeah. Right, this is where Ninja Trader really, you see. Okay, I just need to get all these open now. a lot of different chart sets. Because I'm putting the, you know, it has to work. The new Ninja Trader has to work for me. It has to have all of these different time frames, all of these different softwares running, and all that sort of thing. So see, it didn't save because it crashed. Good job we went through that gold trade. So this is UB. Okay, so I'm going to put UB on the Ninja Trader in a second. I see it in 5 minutes. There's a big, I mean, I don't have to have the Guardian zone really, and it's just, so what I'm going to do is, that is a big zone there. Okay. We've got UB, oops. Ninja Trader still needs to load up, so I've got a lot of instruments and chart sets, so that just needs a bit of time. We've probably got a little bit here, but that would have been an old zone. Let's go to the 15-minute second. I think there's a lot of confluence with those zones. Probably, yeah, I'm just going to leave those on there for now. So let me just pull that off. Let me, in fact, just put that in the background. Sorry, say Zoom box. It's annoying. Okay, so we've got, yes, you can use that, but again, the volume profile only looks at one thing. We look at institutional decision points on the Guardian zone, so it makes it a little different. So let's duplicate a new tab. UB. Okay, that'll take time to load the Guardian zones because I've never looked at this instrument because I don't trade it. For bonds, it'll be ZN for me. I know some of the guys, in fact, Vic trades ZN as well. So that's, I'm just going to pull that chart over to one side and allow that to calculate. It's total new data set. Let's go to, oh, it worked quite quick actually. Okay, super duper. Right, so we got to think on the 5 minute here. There are a lot of zones here, a lot of zones. Where are they coming from? All here from this crappy little section. Okay. Let's go to 15. What does it look like on here? Yeah, I think it's purely to do with the instrument. I'm going to be very honest. It's not a great instrument for day trading. It looks better on the 15th minute to me. Okay. Let me just, let me see what the previous zone's like. Yes. Okay. So you need to be on a bigger time frame, Bill. So here, for example, pre-market, again, bonds do work well pre-market, but we get this move down. We've got a lot of fresh air all the way down to this 30-minute zone. We've had another sell signal here. Again, lots of fresh air down to there. It's quite really interesting to see what the 12-minute looks like, actually. I think the thing is with the 5 minute, there's a lot of buying and selling, one tick. So it's not a great chart on the 5 minute. 12 minutes, not bad actually, but I think 15 minutes is the way to go with these. Get a nice 12 minute short here today, lots of fresh air. If you go to the 5 minute, it's too grainy. I think 12 or the 15 would be good there, actually. That one. You got to see what's in the groove. And I would say 12 or 15. Oh, wow. Okay. So I would say, and again, doesn't take the brains of a rocket scientist here to say this, even this buy signal here, wait, entry just above here, look at that move, it's huge. Sell signal here, fresh air down to this zone. Loads of room down to the bottom there. That is, there is some nice moves on the 15 minute there with the VWAP Predator for sure. UB, Vic, take a note of that. We might look at that with some other types of instrument strategies as well. Like it a lot. Let's go back to, yeah, it certainly does. It looks like it's a good mover. How much is it per tick, Bill? Same as ZB. Yeah. There's some big moves there, for sure. Now, I'm going to have to go back through the gold trade purely because the computer crashed earlier. I don't think it recorded to the computer, because what it does when I close Zoom down, it does the recording. Can you program one indicator with point and figure and combine with your VWAP? This will be amazing. Point and figure, it's not the sort of chart that I'm sort of really I don't think it's even on here, is it? It probably wouldn't be good on this instrument, but let's just try, see what it does. Pretty much the same sort of signals, really. There's the cells coming all the way down. You'd probably have to mess around with the settings like you would for Renko or Uni-Renko, but it works already. One thing it will not do is the bias depth heat map will not work on point and figure. I know that for a fact, because it's got no reference point. But the VWAP works very well with it. But the VWAP is designed for standard candles, like the xBrat algo is designed for Fibonacci candles.
What order, Bill?
Yes, it will do. So a strong move that breaks through will clear the zone off. So what I want to do is go back to gold. And for the sake of the recording of this, guys, and I hope you understand that we need to go through this particular trade again, purely because the computer crashed, so I need to record it again. Okay, I'll
I'll tell you on gold, and then we'll look at other examples where you should put the stop. So, some rules for me when I'm placing stops. If I've got this, okay, Vic, see you soon. If I've got this buy signal going into resistance here, I'm gonna clear it and go, you know, my entry's above there. So my stop can be just 2 ticks below the low of that signal candle because it's done the hard work by pushing through, yeah? If it wants to come back and fail through there, it's going to come back and test all the way down here. So it's pointless putting our stop down below this pivot in this situation, yeah? Purely because it's done the hard work, pushed through, it's got the entry, my stop's below there, yeah? Does that make sense for that particular stop now? So again, we're going to go through the whole process. Remember, I looked at this sort of zone here purely because overnight, this is where it had problems. So that was going to be my target, yeah? My entry, if I put the previous zone on, was just breaking this previous 15-minute zone. Again, I'm going to draw the line on there. My entry was there. I was very aggressive, okay? But I was seeing what was going off with the correlated instruments, and that it wasn't a no-brainer, but it was pretty close, okay? So in this case here, entry was above. So because it had done the hard work to get through the resistance, I was very aggressive with the stop. So just below, 1 or 2 ticks below the low of the signal candle in this case, yeah? Risk reward, as we discussed before, was 1 to 1.5 to there, where I took the target. It was 2, again, another reason for me being quite aggressive there was 2 contracts on this one. If it did go against me, I don't want my stop at this previous pivot all the way down here. It's just way too much risk, yeah? So you've got to take each individual trade in between. And then it moved around this resistance zone, around $2,000 profit. Remember, I posted the actual trade as it was closing on the Discord group here. The profit at that point was $1,900, and it was just approaching that take profit there. So it was a great trade. Remember, signal, confirmation from the buyer stepped heat map. So we sell the buyer stepped heat map separately because it's used for all the different strategies, all the different instruments, all the different indicators, because it gives you that confirmation. And if it doesn't give you that confirmation, you don't take the trade. That's the rules. Yeah, signal, no confirmation, no trade. That simple, okay? Then we have risk to reward. We've got a good, got enough fresh air, we take the trade. We've got a sensible target, away we go. So I don't want to look at another example as to where we would put those stops, because I think that's a good question. So HG on buyer step heat map. Let's get rid of that a second. Okay, so here we're getting, so if we look at this in real time, we get a signal here. The entry is 1 tick below, okay? It doesn't actually take us into the next signal candle. The next candle makes a slightly new high. The pivot for the stop for this order has to be above that high. Does that sound sensible enough? We've got to, as things happen, we've got to make those decisions. So we get a signal candle here, rejects those lows, doesn't take us in, because remember, we need a start line, stop limit or a stop market order. It didn't take us in, it comes back up, forms a high pivot here, comes back down, we get another signal candle forming as we go through the entry. So our stop is just above there in this situation, if that makes sense, okay? So every trade has a certain set of rules. Signal, short signal. All 6 timeframes red. Confirmation. Risk reward. It was good because I looked at this on the Ninja Trader version, the Guardian zones. That's good. Where's my stop going to be? That's where my stop's going to be. That's my entry. Where's the next support? Where is there enough fresh air? Yes. Tick, 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 tick. All the check boxes. That's the trade. It goes in. And we can see here, we actually come down to this point where the ribbon turns green. It was a scrappy trade. No trade looked perfect all the time. Okay. So again, what happens is we do get some decent signals in copper in the evening here. Great move. Yeah. Again, we get some decent moves around the European session. Again, lots of risk reward, great move all the way over there. In fact, that trade was around about 34 ticks, not bad on copper for Europe. Yeah. So again, when we look at something like, let's change the ticker. I know Vic's not here anymore, but he trades silver a lot. Where's silver? There it is. Picked the wrong one. So silver, I would say 10-minute time frame is better, but I am not a silver trader. Let's look for some trades. Actually, probably the 5-minute looks a bit better. Wow. Okay. So here, again, you've got a 10:30. This was data that set this off here, this buy signal at this point here. So again, be very sensible with the stop at this point. There was a buy signal at this point. Our entry's here. One tick above. Yeah. Our stop just below the signal candle. Why? Because this is a monster move. Yeah, we've come from here, we've moved up, we've got a signal, we've got the confirmation. Be very aggressive with that stop because this thing is moving and you've got to get on this train quick. Get the entry, get the stop, take all the profit all the way up there. This one was a pretty cool trade, even if you'd let it run to that point there. 45 ticks on silver was a big move. 81 ticks there. There's probably resistance if we look left. Wow, there's been some massive moves in silver just recently on the VWAP. And again, it's the size of the candle as well. This sell signal here, it's a massive candle. For me, because I've got the big range of the candle and I haven't got the higher 2 time frames, they're neutral, they're not bearish. I wouldn't take that because I'm very risk averse. Okay, it was a decent trade in the end, but I've not got a crystal ball, but I didn't get the confirmation, so I don't trade it. These long signals, I get confirmation. Got all the 6 time frames green on the signal candle, go long, great trade. Okay, the return trade, big risk here, big candle. It's, not got the confirmation. Don't take the trade. Okay. So guys, I do apologize for the technical issue earlier, that my computer just shut down. I've not seen that before. Well, not for about 2 years actually, but it's a new computer. It's been running fine. I've traded today, not a problem. I did get a request to upgrade to Windows 11 earlier today and I declined it, so don't know what's going on there. Again, the zones are very, very, very important. So if I haven't got fresh air, I just don't trade. Yeah. So just move this down a second. Again, we're trading on the 5-minute. We don't need the weekly, daily. 60 minutes, just nice to know where it is down here. Okay. We could always take that off as well, but because we've got the confluence between the 60 and 30. So if we look back here, this oil pit open for copper is pretty good on the VWAP Predator for the sell here. You know, we go back another day. There's the oil pit open. There's a signal, comes all the way down. Okay. Now we do get big moves during the European Open as well. This is European moving on copper there. That's really good. In between times when we've not got that volatility, we don't trade. But if we've got loads of zones in our way, we don't trade. The secret is to have 6 good trades a week and make loads of money, not 6 mediocre trades a day and break even. Okay, that's the point of trading, is the ability to say no. Okay, the ability to recognize that you're going to go into trouble. Okay, so here we've got a sell signal at this point here, really getting some momentum. Our entry is going to be below that. Okay, and it worked out pretty well. But we need to be sensible. We've got fresh air. Sell signal at this point here, we've got no fresh air. We've got support underneath. We don't take it. Does that answer your question, Nate? Just got to be patient and wait. If I get a license platform and then change back when I get additional charge, so indicator. Yes, it is late. So, but what we do is, so somebody recently, quite a while ago, bought an indicator for Thinkorswim, and he's changing to TradingView. So we give them a really big discount for a second platform license, because some people use different platforms. So I will use TradingView and NinjaTrader day in, day out, because I use 2 different platforms. Okay, so you get a massive discount for that second platform license. One thing I would say is, if you are futures trading, the best platform for me is a toss-up between TradingView and NinjaTrader. But NinjaTrader is a more powerful platform. So if you want to grow with your new career as a futures trader, NinjaTrader is a better platform than TradingView, in my opinion. We can do a lot more with it. The Guardian zones will not work on TradingView. TradingView is just not robust enough. It's a platform that's on a cloud. Okay, NinjaTrader is downloaded to your computer. As long as you've got a good computer, it will work very well, and the logic we are able to program into that works a lot better. Hence, Slingshot's only available on NinjaTrader. Guardian zones is only available on NinjaTrader, because it's one of the most powerful platforms about. Okay, so in my opinion, if you are still trying to figure out which, and data's cheap and the fees are very good as well. So for me, NinjaTrader ticks a lot of boxes. If that makes sense, Lee, no problem. So I've got a few minutes left. Is there an instrument that I've not covered? Something a bit spurious that somebody likes to trade? Let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at it on NinjaTrader. Come on, throw something at me. Let's see if it works on VWAP. CL, yeah, go to CL. I can look at YM. Let's look at YM first, and then I'll do CL. So futures. Oh, I don't want to change that one, do I? Okay, so that's duplicate a new tab. Go to YM. Okay, so this will be, again, we're doing VWAP Predator today, so it will be the best time frame for VWAP Predator on YM that I can see. Bit bitty on the 5 minutes. I think we go to 15 and see where we are. Break sell signal there early this morning, 15 minutes. What we got here, that was a fantastic trade. I'm just looking at the times of day as well, because obviously this is during Asia and European morning, very flat, so we don't take signals during that time. As the signals were missing here, so I'm thinking 12-minute might be better, or even 10 on the YM. Decent signals here. They were midday EST. It's not bad, but I think it's missing some. So let me just go 12. 5. Okay. Still on that one. Those ones. I'm just looking for the ones it missed. I mean, that was a big candle there. I wouldn't have taken that one. Ooh, that was a nice European morning there. That was data. That was a nice move. Yeah, we're getting more signals on the 12-minute, definitely on the VWAP Predator. And again, this thing's 1136. It's tried to push up through this resistance, this buy signal here. The only option you have is to get an entry, stop limit order there. Okay. Let's change that to yellow so you can see it. So we've got buy signal here, buy signal here, buy signal here. This is a 30-minute zone here. Just take the weekly, the daily off. So this is a 30-minute zone. If we look left, this is where it started, okay? This is a big zone. Put the previous zones on. Woo! Some of those have been negated now. It's very difficult to go back that far in time. But this has got to be, you've got lots of risk to reward up to a confluence of 60, 30, 15, and this 12-minute. That's big resistance, yeah? That's your target. You've got multiple buy signals here, but you've got to wait and be patient, okay? Wait for it to break through there, and that's the long one. So 12-minute looks good. Richard, on YM. Yeah. So we'll go for ES, we'll go CL first. Let's go to 3-minute on CL. See how that's behaved today. We have a scalper. There's a lot of zones in there at the moment. But, you know, that's telling you not to take a trade, okay? Because nothing really works out, okay? So the guardian zones are doing the job. They're guarding you. They're stopping you from taking a trade. So oil wasn't very tradable today, okay? But if we look at previous days, we get sell signal, sell signal, sell signal, break support, all the way down to that fresh air. So there are days when you can trade that. Okay, here, buy signal, wait till it breaks to 30, away it goes. 3 minutes not bad on oil, to be honest. But again, you won't get trades every day, and that's the whole point of trading. Okay, you don't look for trade, you look for reasons not to trade. When you get all of those ticks in the boxes, you get a really good trade. So that's the oil one, LG. So ES 1 or 5 minute. Wow. Okay. Futures ES 1 minute. It's pretty good. It's a good scalper. The only problem is, okay, Bill. The only problem is with this on the 1 minute is you're going to have to look at the buy stepped heat map, okay? So this is on the scalping setting, but you're still not getting those confirmations all the time. You're not going to sell this into the 60-minute zone. You're going to buy this one, absolutely, but you're 4 out of 6, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got to understand the behavior of these signals and really use the guardian zones to help you, because you are not going to take that buy signal into that resistance zone. Okay, it's come back down, it's tested the support, you've got a buy signal, you're going to take it. So if you're on a 1 minute and you're on VWAP, you need at least 4 out of 6. If you're on 3 or 5 minute, you need 6 out of 6. Okay, now this is ES. Okay, on the 1 minute, it will depend on the instrument. But 1 minute looks pretty good here. Again, if you're waiting just for the 6 out of 6, you get a sell signal at this point here. 6 out of 6, that's a big trade. Okay, so there are decent trades on. No, 1 minute there, that's really good. But again, you won't take this buy signal here. We're all red. It's telling you not to take it. Yeah. So that's ES on the 1 minute. Okay. I'll have a look on the 5. Don't like the 5-3S. I think you're going to be a scalper with this one, definitely. Any more before I go? Because it's 10 p.m. here in Dubai, so I need to go. Do apologise for the technical glitch earlier. So 5 on GC, ES is probably more like 12, to be honest, or 15. I'd probably go 12 or 15 on ES. With indexes, they're bigger moves. You need to be on a bigger time frame. Gold doesn't move as fast, but when it does, it moves very well. So gold, you need to be on the 5 minute with a VWAP. With ES, you need to be 15 or 12. Okay, that's my suggestion. Yeah. Okay, if anybody wants to get the VWAP Predator today, use this coupon code, BYA10, and you get 10% off. Okay, BYA10. The ticks, we don't use ticks on the VWAP Predator. Okay, we use them on roller coaster mainly because it's a different type of strategy. So tick charts will be mainly on roller coaster. So the tick charts on roller coaster, I think on the Auto Trader made $2,500 yesterday. I think it was yesterday. One of the guys printed on there. So yeah, thanks, Louise. Thank you. So yes, guys, I do apologise for the technical issue, but I got on as soon as I could. It did start my restart my computer. Okay, if you've got any questions, just email Damien@globaltradingsoftware.com on that. But the Guardian zones, I mean, look at this ES on the 15 minute here. That is a huge move, massive move. Okay, there are great opportunities. You're welcome, John. Thank you, Naya. Okay, guys, thank you. Good night. And I will speak to you all on the next monthly webinar, which hopefully we've got some really exciting news for stocks and options traders. So thanks, guys. I'll speak to you all really soon.